It's about that time. What's happening in your city? Got love for your city? And we're here, ladies and gentlemen, for another episode of City Views. My name is Jacques Williams, your host. Glad to be here with you tonight. Also accompanying me are my most capable co-host. First of all, the one and only Wilbur Bowles, also known as Weebo. How you doing?
The Mets doing bad, man.
Yeah, they are.
Doing bad.
I feel sorry for you.
Tears my eyes.
And
Here's mine.
our lovely co-host, who we missed so badly last week, but we're glad that she's back. However, although we won't elaborate on any sports topics tonight, we will be discussing sports, Melissa, so I hope you don't mind.
I don't mind.
Okay.
I just hang out with my tea over here while you guys talk about sport.
Yeah, that's a good girl.
Yeah, she was with Parker last week. She didn't care about
Yeah,
us.
man, we couldn't compete with Parker, man.
Poor Parker.
Yeah, Parker. But obviously, Parker had the right touch because she's back.
She's back.
Parker the man. Yep.
All right. And as always, we want to take this opportunity to thank our very kind sponsor, Toth Insurance Agency, and the good folks at Toth Insurance.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
Steve.
much for your
You're the
kindness
man.
and generosity and helping City Views reach its potential.
Yeah.
Because you know what? We'd be in big trouble without our sponsor.
Oh, yeah.
We are so grateful to Toth Insurance.
Yeah.
They have really helped
Very
us
supportive.
in so many things. I mean, something as basic as a cup, but a lot more important things like getting our Facebook page up and things such as that. So, yeah.
Correct, and which is also very important because, every now and then, you need that support system that can come through and say, hey, keep up the good work.
Yep. Yep.
Stay on top of it. Keep going,
It's good to have cheerleaders.
especially.
Always good to have cheerleaders.
Especially those times when you're like, I can't go on with this. So we not only thank Steve for his help as a sponsor, but we also thank him for his friendship
Yeah. He's
Very
good
much
man.
his
so.
companionship.
Yeah.
Very important. And also big shout out to Catherine Pezzi.
Yes,
Catherine.
Catherine.
Hi to Bill.
Yes.
Yes, we
Billiam.
definitely are. Billiam.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're keeping them in our prayers.
And prayers, yeah.
You know?
Good night.
So best of luck to you.
Best of luck.
Now, guys, I got to tell you, man, the last 2 weeks have been like, you know what I mean? You guys, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know?
Today's Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
I have been so busy with International Make Music Day. And we're going to have Steph Burr calling into the show a little later on.
Oh, okay.
And giving us an update because now we have to scramble. We had a B plan just in case it rained, but now it's like the reality of it raining
Oh,
is
dear.
becoming even more
All right.
critical to our plan. So, we have to do double time to make sure that everything is set for Friday, June 21st, in the second annual International Make Music Day. So we pretty much got everything set up. The venues are set up. The artists are 90% scheduled. There's just a few fills that we got to take care of. But, this is our second annual. It's an international event. So I think the Department of the Arts is facilitating this so that communities can mold this to the best of their communities' advantages. So that's a good thing, and we're working locally with the Northwest Arts Council, and we've had Rufus Durham on the show before.
I like that name, Rufus.
I know.
Rufus.
I was driving down Water Street the other day. He's walking in. I'm like, the roof is on fire, and he just, kindly finishes it. I'm like, oh no, I can't finish it, but he did. But also, as I mentioned earlier, Steph is going to be calling in and giving us a brief overview. So we're excited about that, and we're going to be hitting summer with a bang.
Around the corner.
Friday, International Make Music Day, and then Saturday, the Still River Music Fest.
I'm going to stop down a minute.
And our friend and colleague, Darcy Anderson Abbott, who works with us at WAPJ, is the founder and owner of the event. And
Recent guest on the show.
Yep. Looking forward to that. And this year, it's going to be dedicated to singer-songwriter Joey Sexton, who just recently passed.
Joey,
And we all knew Joey and love Joey, and it's going to be great to have those sentiments presented during this year's Still River Music Festival. So, you know what though? I'm so upset with myself because in my fast and furious pace to try to get everything done, I accidentally forgot the roster list for musicians, so I won't be able to list off the musicians. But hopefully, if Catherine Kane calls into the show, then maybe she can go over that for us.
Oh, good.
We'll keep our fingers crossed.
Excellent.
So also I want to tell you about the latest issue of Litchfield County Sports. Tim Gaffney is going to be returning to WAPJ with Litchfield County Sports, and we're going to be welcome him back with open arms because we just love the Litchfield County Sports Show. And I want to encourage everyone, if you see this magazine around, please check it out, because to cover local sports is a unique calling. Because obviously when you're dealing with, national sports and teams like the Mets and whatnot, that's usually, what people talk about. However, our local sports is just important because the individuals that are participating and the stories that they have overcoming challenges, dealing with issues, I think needs to be highlighted, and Tim does a great job of that. So we definitely want to encourage you to check out Litchfield County Sports, and we want to welcome Tim Gaffney back to WAPJ.
And we supposed to come back with him. We were supposed to talk about the Giants with you.
Well,
we're gonna double team you, brother.
Well, as everybody who knows me, they know I'm from the Midwest, so obviously I'm a Bengals fan, Cincinnati Bengals. I could be a Cleveland Browns fan, but that would be pretty much heresy in the family, so I can't go there. However, any one of you out there that want to compare the Giants to the Bengals, I'm not talking about past, okay? I'm talking about now, okay? Because now is where we're at. We're not back in 1986 when you had, what was the big linebacker there? Wilbur Marshall and Lawrence Taylor. Yeah, we're not talking about those guys. Like, that was then. This is now.
They're taking a break right now.
Yeah, they're taking a break. Yeah. So I will gladly invite those conversations, and we'll see what happens come September. Meet me in September.
AM or PM?
Anyway. So, and our segment, What's Cooking, will be returning to us. And the session has just ended in the house.
Oh, okay.
And, there's some fireworks, on this session. It's tough. It's tough. These issues are not easy. And we just hope that, our representatives go to bat for us with the best of intentions. Sometimes things don't always turn out like we want them to. Sometimes they don't turn out like they want them to. But I think the focus has to be on giving your best effort, putting your best foot forward, and trying to make the arguments as cogent as possible for your representatives, for your constituents, and hopefully for your party. Although the one thing that I was kind of about this budget was the partisanship, and it's tough to kind of really break down and look at legislation when a lot of times it's voted upon party lines. I'm just not convinced that the philosophical differences between the parties are that great. However, when we talk to Michelle, we'll discuss that and hash it out, see where we go.
Excellent.
Okay. And besides that, I think that we're about ready to take a break. Our guest tonight is Sharon Waagner, who is the author of All Things Torrington. It's really nice to see this come about because a few years ago we were trying to figure out how we could, consolidate calendars and schedules and try to get everybody on the same page. And Sharon has put in diligent yeoman's work.
She worked hard
in putting that together and
so.
making sure that everybody can, at least to the best of their ability, get the lowdown on all the events and activities that are taking place in Torrington and in the region, and that's a pretty big job.
Very cohesive piece of work she does.
Absolutely, it is. So we're going to be talking to her shortly and hamming it up.
Excellent. I think we're going to be having some fun today.
I just hope Uncle Lou doesn't, get too upset, of our raucous conversation.
He got his stick back there.
He comes on the stage kicking his, He's got a big S on his chest, though.
Oh yeah, I know. Watch out.
Big
Watch
S,
out.
big S. I'm like, whoa, that's a nice S on your chest.
Another superhero.
This is
Yeah. See, when you miss, Melissa, see what happens? It takes us a while to get things back on track.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, all right.
Here we are.
There
Here we go.
That's right. So you guys stay tuned, and we're going to be back with our special guest this evening, Ms. Sharon Waagner, All Things Torrington, right after this.
Shelters are the best places to find a new pet.
What a perfectly beautiful little lady.
That's where you'll discover healthy, loyal, and loving animals.
You little rascal.
Eager to become a part of your family. A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet.
Oh, ladies first.
Be that person. Adopt.
This is living.
Hey, kid. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are the #1 killer of children 1 through 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
I've always said that you can't change what you don't acknowledge. So let's acknowledge this. 1 in 6 Americans now struggle with hunger. These are our co-workers, our neighbors, our friends. The problem is closer than you think. But so is the solution. This is a changing day, not just in your life, but in the lives of many, many others. Join me by visiting feedingamerica.org and find your local food bank to help. I'm Dr. Phil, and together we're Feeding America.
You're on your way to meet up with friends, but you can't seem to get anywhere quickly. You don't want your friends to be annoyed, so you text. You're on your way. 5 seconds is the average time your eyes are off the road while texting while driving. Make sure you get where you're going.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us tonight on another episode of City Views. Our special guest this evening is my good friend and colleague, Miss Sharon Waagner. Welcome to the show, Sharon.
Thank you. It's good to be here with you guys. Thank you very much.
It's been too long, actually.
I don't know about that. It's been a while since you first started, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, this month we're celebrating our first year hosting
Right.
the
So
show.
it was the beginning,
Yeah.
towards the beginning of the first year.
Yep. A year has come and gone.
It's really weird to see
Already.
my name in the credits. Whoa.
Well, we give credit where credit is due.
I know, but you're good.
So now, if you were listening to the last segment before we took our break, I was referring to a gentleman that I lovingly refer to as Uncle Lou, who is Sharon's better half. And I was referring to the S on his chest, which I really didn't know. I mean, I just saw it. I didn't get a chance to examine it. I didn't want Lou to think, I was. But coming.
He already knows that.
Being the wise man that he is.
Hey, where's Lou?
So now we know what the S on his chest meant. It stands for
Sharon's.
Sharon's.
All right.
Seriously, it was a Father's Day present. It said, "My son is my superhero,"
Which is awesome.
which is really awesome.
Which is awesome.
But I still like to think it means Sharon's.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Be careful of a man walking with a big stick, right?
I know.
Right. You had me fooled. I thought I was getting ready to look for some kryptonite for a second, but
Yeah.
I
And
guess
there's
that. wasn't
It's in the handle of the cane.
So, Sharon.
So I have some of the names of the groups that are going to be there Saturday, because you didn't have your list.
You brought the backup plan.
I brought somewhat of a backup plan. I took some notes.
Yes.
First of all, you mentioned Joey Sexton,
Yes.
and that was a terrible loss for all of us
Yes.
to lose Joey. He was an incredible musician. I first heard him perform when you did singer-songwriter concerts way back at the Historical Society. But the benefit for that day, there's two benefits. One is the Aim for a Better Tomorrow, the music group, and the other is the Winstead Fire Department will benefit from the proceeds. So it's an awesome benefit for them, and also some great recognition for our friend Joey. So that's awesome. Gates open at 11. The first performer is our lone piper. He will be piping from 12 to 12:45. There'll be music all day until 11 p.m. Some of the performers, and I didn't write them all down, but I did not know that Jacques wasn't going to have his list. But Flipper, Podunk Throwbacks,
Nice.
Tom the Suit, Driving Iris. There's a magician. The Flow Farm Family Spinners will be doing their fire artist work at night. There are beer and wine gardens, food trucks, artisans, face painting, all kinds of things. There's an aerial artist from 2 to 6 in the afternoon. So it's going to be a fun day.
Moses Bone, Gypsy Joe will be in the house. The D'Souza Band will be also appearing. This is a loaded venue.
It's an incredible feat of magic. Darcy has done a phenomenal job. She can organize a music festival like nobody's business, and she really does a phenomenal
Was it second,
job.
third year doing this? Or?
Third annual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she was doing music festivals down in the Middletown area before that too, so she's got some experience that she brings to it. So that's really pretty awesome.
Yep.
And she brings musicians on to WAPJ all the time, which I love. That's really cool.
And you can also catch Sharon's segment, All Things Torrington, on Darcy's show. She's the Thursday morning host for the Miscellaneous Morning Show. And that's at 9:30. And Sharon comes on, makes an appearance, and pretty much for the whole half hour, it's just list after list after list of things that are happening in the area. So if anyone out there thinks that nothing's going on in Torrington, you really need to listen to this segment on Thursday mornings at our local radio station, WAPJ, the Miscellaneous Morning Show with your host, Darcy Anderson Abbott, with the special segment with Sharon Waagner.
We talk about all things Torrington, and it's not just reading the list. It's, we'll add in different things going along the way, but the basic premise is because years ago, Dr. Isidore Temkin, who owned the building and the radio station, asked me to go on and say, please, let's change it from people thinking that this is Borington and make it Torrington. So that was the catalyst for the show. And being involved with Torrington Downtown Partners and Steve Temkin since 2010, it's really important that we promote our downtown.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we got to say this about Steve. He is up for the Businessman of the Year award.
He is
And that'll be at
Chatterley's,
Charlie's
on
on
the
the
27th.
27th of this month. So congratulations,
Congratulations,
Mr.
Steve.
Timken.
Yeah, congratulations.
Very well deserved.
Very.
Good job.
Yeah, it's good.
When he was in high school, Torrington High School, and I won't say the year, he was valedictorian, and his valedictory address was on downtown Torrington. He has been in love with downtown Torrington since he was a child. So
Wow, that's
it really has made a difference.
amazing.
He's done
Isn't that cool?
incredible work. Since
Was he
they-
born in Torrington?
Yeah,
He was?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
exactly.
Well, the Timken name in Torrington has a pretty long legacy to it.
His father and his uncle were dentists, and his father went into the home construction building, a business, and started T&M Building, which is on Brook Street. So Steve has continued that legacy. So they're building homes and
okay.
developments everywhere, and very dedicated to Torrington. He's involved with, he sits on boards at just about every organization in town, I think.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And that is the impetus going forward that is carving out a very interesting future for Torrington, Sharon.
Oh, it is.
Can you elaborate on that for us?
Well, I can take you back to 2010 when he and Steve Roth and Dave Bender bought 9 buildings out of foreclosure, and most of them were empty. And you can tell by downtown that we've got most of them full now. You know, there's still renovation work going on, but it's a long process, and it costs money. So they've been doing incredible things. Our latest 2 businesses are Brinks, and next to that, the shoe repair place, and we have the Connecticut Boot store over on Water Street. We have the Torrington Historic Preservation Trust shares our office with us, so that's pretty awesome. And you know, In Sheep's Clothing was one of our businesses that came in and rented an office right out from under me. And before that, it was Stephanie who rented the other office out from under me. So I moved around to different places as we rented spaces. We'd renovate, we'd rent, and we'd move, and we'd renovate, we'd rent, and that's the way it works.
Right.
And it's really awesome. One other thing that's happening, and Steve has been working with Chris as well. Chris Kelsey and Restaurants Downtown have started a restaurant coalition, and there are 6 restaurants participating, and it's what we always wanted. It was to have the restaurant connection so we can start doing maybe a restaurant week in the future. They do a lot of things for the community. They're doing a pub crawl July 7th that will benefit the Torrington Veterans Office. So, you know, there's a lot of really good things happening, which is really pretty awesome.
Now, I'm not sure, but I heard there was a rumor that they had special sales on knee pads for the bar crawl. So
You would have to check with Chris.
yeah.
I'm sure if they could make some money on them, they would sell them.
Well, you know, I'm just saying, you know, it's kind of a distance between, you know, like, you know, O'Connor's
like the
and
pub crawl.
Sawyer's and Bocce's
Ties
and
in
BK.
with that whole theme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know how my knees aren't as good as they used to be, so I ain't gonna be crawling nowhere.
I'm going to leave this without a comment because you know me too well, and you probably know what I would say if I had the opportunity and was not on PG. But
We both gonna be with me.
It's really been fun to watch it all taking off into doing some new things, and you know, we've got some great new businesses in town, and we've got some prospects for some more, and the Waagner Theater is doing phenomenal, and Nutmeg and Kids Play. Kids Play is doing Make Music Day. International Make Music Day is not only for towns and communities to celebrate music and to bring some special interest into their communities, but it gives you freedom to sing in your car, to sing in the shower, to sing wherever you are, to beat drums on your dashboard, to do whatever. It's Make Music Day, whatever way you can, whatever way brings a smile to your face, and that's what they'll do. Kids Play, longest day for music and play, open from 10 in the morning till 8 o'clock in the evening.
Wow.
They're doing free admission after 4, themed activities all day, live musicians from 4:30 to 5:15, and Chorus Angelicus at 6:30. And they're doing a family activity night, which includes creating instruments, a musical science experiment, and themed bingo, music-themed bingo. So
Very cool.
that's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
That is
it
super
is.
cool, yeah.
Now, Sharon, do you remember International Make Music Day?
When you and I did it? We did it, though.
Yeah.
We did not do the publicity we could have done, but we decided we were right outside at WAPJ so that we could bring music and we could be outside WAPJ and make music. And we waved to people and talked to people, even if they just kind of went.
It was like, what is those fools doing?
No, we just kind of danced a little and sang and looked at each other and thought, what have we done? But it's like everything else. It grows. You know, you take that little seed and you add to it the following year. And we're going to be doing some things at the Hub this year. So I think that'll be cool.
Well, our initial groundbreaking year was filled with humility.
Well, and that feeds the soul
Absolutely.
a little bit. It's like, okay, I need to learn from this.
Well, I know there was a couple people that felt like
Well, we had one lady who came and sat down and joined us.
Yeah. There's a couple people that they came in and filled in and sat in, and they commented to me later on that they were like, I think I want to like maybe pursue this a little more seriously.
Right. Well, and we did it kind of last minute. We did the last few weeks, we decided we would try to do something. And with pre-planning, we could have done something with maybe some outside entertainers down on Main Street and things like that. I think there was a group performing under the marquee at the Waagner.
Yeah.
And I know Kids Play did something last year as well. So it's one of those things that grows.
Yep. So
It's like the popularity of the Red Sox happens to be my team. But just throwing that in.
hold on, wait. All this time I've known you, Sharon Waagner, you've been a closet Red Sox fan?
I've not been in the closet about it. I am a Red Sox fan, and the reason we have had a couple of series wins. However, you would not be able to have any good season whatsoever if you did not have teams like the Red Sox to play against. We're skill builders. We help you build the skills for your team.
Strangely, oddly, somehow that makes sense.
You doubted me. You told me to.
Ladies and gentlemen, she makes the sense.
Red Sox lay the foundation down, huh? You saying?
Yeah. You have to work. You have to work with us a lot.
I like the bee. I like the bee. I went to
And
Boston
Sweet
and I
Caroline
bought a
was
hat.
just on the radio.
And I
as we
bought a
came
shirt.
here.
I have a Boston Red Sox hat and a shirt.
I
the
do
whole
as well.
thing.
And I sang the song on my way over because it was on Sirius. as we
Only
were coming
sports stuff
over.
I have. Boston Red Sox.
I don't. Lou just sits there humbly. You know.
Poor Lou.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Now, interesting enough, the show following City Views, Pastor Rich, I believe his name is.
Oh, I know the name too.
It'll come to me. However, I just got a notification from him that Bernie Carbo is coming to his church to speak. I think Thursday.
Nice.
Bernie Carbo.
Nice.
Now, that is a name from baseball folklore. And when I saw that, it brought back lots and lots of memories. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Bernie Carbo was a Cincinnati Red before he was a Boston Red Sox.
Could be.
Yeah.
He thought that there was, nice quality in Boston.
There is quality. There is quality in Boston, I will admit
Red
that.
Sox fan.
But my fondest memories of the Red Sox came in 1975 when the big red machine was oiled up and motoring teams down without any remorse. And that 1975 World Series is probably one of the best World Series, definitely top 5.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And that was a World Series, if any of you sports fans remember, was where Carlton Fisk hit the home run and was whooshing it over the fence. Go, go, go. And we were at home saying, no, no, no.
He was trying to get the air.
Yeah,
from his
yeah.
hands
It
to do
was
that.
definitely...
They're all exciting.
Yeah.
They're all exciting. And it's a great culmination to great competitive seasons. And that competition is great. And the rivalry with teams is great. But I was the only adult Red Sox fan up in the Adirondacks in my district. And I had a student, when he was in 4th grade, I learned he was a Red Sox fan. And he was so relieved that I was. And we did that argument with everybody because we said, you wouldn't be able to play if you didn't have us. So it was fun. So he's now married, has a child, he's in the Marines. I mean, it's incredible. But he and I were the Red Sox fans in our school district.
With no shame. Like
no
me,
shame
the
whatsoever. You're
Can't
not
be
ashamed
No,
of
I'm
your
not.
team?
I'm not ashamed.
You
God
should
knows.
be.
It's your team.
My team. No
My
shame at all.
father's team was the Brooklyn Dodgers, and then they left him.
Oh, yeah.
I was the
Oh.
property of the LA Dodgers as
Yeah.
a child growing up in LA.
Yeah.
I had a finger.
Well, my father gave up on them. He went to the Mets because he said the Dodgers left him. You know, he had been a staunch Dodgers fan his whole life, so he said their loss.
Came on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Listen, a couple other things I wanted to mention. The summer concert series has started.
yes.
Tonight was the first one, and as we went by, I was reminded concerts are always Tuesday and Friday night in Cole Park, 7 o'clock, rain or shine, and tonight they were inside Cole Park. It was St. Peter's Drum and Bugle Corps. Next Tuesday is Red Line, which is country and Motown, on Tuesday night, and on Friday night is Night Moves, which is one of my favorites. They do a lot of popular music and dance music, and that's always a lot of fun. Farmers Market has started, 10 to 1 on Saturdays and 3 to 6 on Tuesday afternoons up at St. Paul's Lutheran Church. And Saturday is the Library Carnival Day. It's the summer reading sign up with lots of games for kids from 10 to 3. So I wanted to make sure we
Could I come
included
too?
those. You can go.
Okay. I'm a kid too.
Well, you've got a grandchild.
Okay.
Bring
I mean myself.
Yeah, but if you have a grandchild to go, it's a great excuse.
But I want to go.
And you should be reading to that grandchild right now.
Okay.
You got it.
Yeah.
On that note, we're going to prepare to take another break. And when we come back, we're going to be getting a call from Steph Burr, who is on the Northwest Arts Council. And she's going to be giving us some updates on International Make Music Day and possibly giving us some plan Bs because the weather may not be totally cooperating with us, but the music, I guarantee you, will go on. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back with more with our special guest tonight, Sharon Waagner, and the rest of the crew right here on City Views.
A city.
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome to my block party. Glad you can make it.
The only triple doubles you get come with fries.
Last time you blocked someone, you were online.
I can do this all day. Your moves are just gay.
Using gay to mean dumb or stupid, not cool.
Not cool.
Not in my house, not anywhere. It's not creative, it's offensive to gay people. And you're better than that.
Learning how to kickflip 6 stairs takes determination. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
And welcome back to City Views, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jacques Williams. I am your host for this very, very arduous hour of fun.
Arduous.
Well, I couldn't think of another word at the time.
Delightful.
Delightful.
Enjoyable.
But see,
ebullient.
Lovely. It's
Ebullient.
lovely, delightful, delirious, delicious, delectable.
Well, those are understatements. See,
Cole Porter
arduous
lyrics.
has
They're not words that he uses.
arduous has another connotation. That means it gives the impression that we're really working to make this happen.
But they see us.
Oh. Well, so much for that thought.
Well, they see the hat.
We should have hats.
We should have hats.
No, you shouldn't.
Well, you have a hat and he has a hat. We need a hat.
But you have your lovely locks.
I have my lovely locks.
Yes.
We have our lovely
You have your
locks.
We have
I got
lovely
mine
locks
too.
and lovely hats.
We need our hats.
We need
need our purple hats.
Different hat every night.
We could do that.
Cowboy hats.
I think so. Do we have a guest caller
Is there a
tonight?
milliner in town?
No, you have to be a self-milliner.
I think we have Steph Burr on.
I have a great grandmother who was a milliner. We have a call.
Steph Burr, is that you?
Hey, Jack, how are you?
We are absolutely fantastic. How are you tonight, my friend?
I'm doing great.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Steph Burr from the Northwest Arts Council, and her group is putting together International Make Music Day, and the Northwest Arts Council is working in conjunction with the Connecticut Department of the Arts on this event. And Steph Burr and Rufus and Maddie are doing a bang-up job. The three of you are like the three amigos.
Hey, thanks, Jack. We're trying.
You're doing a great job, and everybody's anticipating the second annual event. But I want you to take this time, Steph, to talk to our audience a little bit about the history of the event and how the Connecticut Department of the Arts collaborated with the Northwest Arts Council on this.
Okay, sure. So it's called International Make Music Day. It actually started in France, I want to say about 75 years ago, as the Fête de Musique. And it's spread kind of all over the world now. Connecticut is actually the first state in the country to do it on a statewide level. So they do it in New York, they do it in a lot of big cities all over the country, but Connecticut is the first state to take it on the state level.
Well, Connecticut's the first state to do a lot of things, so this just adds to the list.
Yeah, and it's a great program. It's really fun. It's a chance for local musicians to really be in the spotlight and have a venue to play at and have some music at not necessarily conventional venues. And I think it's a great opportunity for everyone, and it is a great opportunity for the public to go see free live music all day.
And it's definitely a community galvanizing event.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing in the second year that the events are actually becoming more of a citywide events. So in particular, the cities of Torrington and the town of Kent have really stepped up this year, and there's a lot going on. So if you want to spend the whole day listening to free live music, I would recommend Kent or Torrington, depending where you live in the region, because there's going to be stuff happening all day in both of those places. There's also a lot of stuff happening. New Hartford has a lot happening in their pavilion, and there's a lot happening up in Winsted at the American Mural Project as well, and also some venues down in the New Milford area.
Well, I think events like this, especially for the Northwest Corner, are vital in terms of developing a culture for tourism. Can you address that a little bit?
I have seen a lot of people coming to Torrington in particular. I'm from Torrington. I live in Torrington. So we've seen a lot of people coming from down in the New Haven area for music events that are happening in Torrington. So it does bring people from other regions if they have interest in a specific genre of music that's happening in our region.
Now, talk about the towns that the Northwest Arts Council covers, because it's pretty extensive, and I don't think the public quite knows what the responsibility that you have to service this region with information, with resources, etc. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure, yeah. Our service area extends 25 towns in Litchfield County and beyond. So everyone in the northwest corner over to New Hartford, Barkhamsted area, down through Torrington, Thomaston, then down Litchfield, and Washington, New Milford. That's kind of our border. So it's a lot of people, people to try to serve, and we're trying to be as efficient as possible and doing programs that are, very community activating, so that we can empower creative people in the region to take on projects like Make Music Day, because it's only 3 of us on the staff at the Arts Council, one full-time and 2 part-time staff members.
And we had a very productive meeting last week with the Northwest Arts Council and the Arts and Culture Commission. And I felt like Rufus was pretty demonstrative in some of the recommendations that he made in terms of both entities working closer together. Can you talk to us a little bit, Steph, about Rufus's influence on the Northwest Arts Council as its new executive director?
Yes, of course. So, yes, Rufus Duram is our new director. He started last November, and it's already been a lot of change in a very good way. He is definitely encouraging organizations in the communities to work together, to talk to each other, to come together, because, it doesn't really make sense for people to be duplicating efforts or like competing. We're such a region of limited resources that in the arts that we all need to be working together to strengthen each other and build each other up. So that's his philosophy on how to approach arts and culture in the Northwest corner.
And he's doing a lot of work with the Northwest Council of Governments as well, the COG, as it's also known as. Can you touch a little bit upon how these bridges are being drawn between arts and cultural concerns and how that ties into political initiatives?
In terms of political initiatives, we are a bipartisan organization. We don't really get involved in, partisan politics, but we do advocate for arts and culture in our region on the state level. A win that we recently had at the state level was that they just opened up designation of arts and culture districts in Connecticut, which was surprisingly not yet a thing. So that was good. And they've also changed the committee in the state from the Tourism Commission to the, I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but I think it's something to do with the Arts and Culture Tourism
Correct.
Commission now.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is a win. I mean, it's small wins, but, as artists, if we don't get our funding cut, that's a win. So we'll take it.
Well, Steph, I got to tell you, since you have joined forces with the Northwest Arts Council, I've seen that vitality come out, because I think what Torrington is really interested in doing is getting younger people involved in the makeup of the city. Young people like yourselves who are committed to their community, intelligent, hardworking, and bring a talent that is not necessarily required. However, it is a big plus, because not only are you seeing things on the administrative side, but you're on the other side in terms of creating and putting out works and doing exhibits. So you see the artistic endeavor from both sides. And I think that is something that our community is benefiting from, because that is obviously attracting more like-minded individuals like yourself. So I personally want to thank you for your continued work, and I know your struggles, Steph. So.
Oh, well, thank you, Jack. I appreciate the support.
Well, when I first met you, I was like, there's something about this Steph Bud. If you remember that, out in Milford at the farm where I was first introduced to you. But I think that I didn't even know the total input of your artistic endeavors. Can you talk to our audience a little bit about some of the projects that you've been involved with over the last few years?
Sure, yeah. I am an artist myself. I'm a graffiti artist and a street artist and a painter. I'm represented by a gallery called Wallworks New York down in the Bronx. And I've painted at Miami Art Basel. I've done murals down there and traveled to different countries to do murals. So I'm really excited to be at a stage in my career where I'm kind of considered to be an emerging artist. I think it is very important to have people in our community who do venture out into other places like the New York art market to kind of bring back, some insight into what's working there and why and how we can implement it on the scale that we have here, which is a much smaller scale, which personally I like much better living up here than the idea of living down in New York. Well, even though my work sells down there and I can't sell anything up here, I think it's a much nicer place to live up here.
Well, I got to agree with those sentiments. One of the reasons why I eventually settled in Torrington was because it was a 90-minute market. I could still go to New York, still go to Boston to do what I needed to do, and then come back to a community that was rather tranquil. But at that time, when I first moved here, Torrington was really busy. So unfortunately, like many other cities, faced with challenges that are out of our control, trying to make the best out of what we have now is an endeavor that a lot of people are facing.
Yeah, and I think really bringing young people into the city is so important. I mean, you worked on the Working Cities Challenge, and you know that young people leaving is one of the major problems in Torrington. And by empowering, people like ourselves at the Arts Council, we're all young, under 35, by empowering us to have a seat at the table, it's going to attract people here because they feel like they're being listened to and they feel like there's a community of young people that are being listened to. I think it's very important.
It definitely is, Steph, and you are definitely one of those that are rewriting the ship. And I, for one, as a friend, as a colleague, and as an admirer of your work, wish you continued success in all your endeavors. And let's just keep our fingers crossed for good weather for this Friday.
Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you, Jack. I have to commend you as well. You've really done a lot in downtown Torrington for Make Music Day, kind of made a lot of it happen. So I really encourage everyone out there watching to come. If you're around Torrington, I can't advocate for one specific town as an Arts Council staff, but as a resident of Torrington, come downtown and see what's going on musically.
Steph, before you go, do you have a brief rundown of the venues and the performances?
Not off the top of my head, but I do know, maybe actually, let me try. So the Performance Hub has music all day. There's a harmonica class, a free harmonica class that you can take. You can register online. You get a free harmonica to take home with you at the end of the class. And there's also a bucket drumming class for kids that's going to be happening at Co Park. That's happening starting at 1:30. There's music under the marquee of the Waagner. There's going to be music at the Historical Society, at the lawn of City Hall. Community Health and Wellness Center is going to have some music in their waiting room. There's a bunch of other places. Hummingbird Cafe, which is a new cafe that's opening on Main Street. I know I'm missing some, Jack.
That's okay.
But there's plenty. There's plenty to see all day music. You wouldn't even be able to see them all. There's that much.
I'm going to try.
Yeah, me too. I'm making my schedule now where I'm going to be at what time and what bands I'm going to see. It's very exciting.
Well,
and all the performances are available to see. If you want to make your own schedule of what you're going to do on Friday, all of the performances are online at makemusicday.org/NWCT for Northwest Connecticut.
And just for our viewing audience, want to let them know that WAPJ will be the program guide for Make Music Day all day long. So just tune in to 105.1 or 89.9 or stream at WAPJ.org and you'll be able to check out all the events. And Steph, you can feel free to call in to give any updates or changes or whatever may be happening throughout the course of the day as well.
Oh, I will, Jack.
Cool.
Can't wait.
Absolutely awesome. Steph, thank you so much. I know you're really, really busy, and I hate to take 15 minutes out of your very busy day to call in and talk to our viewing audience, but I think that they'll greatly appreciate that.
Oh, thank you so much, Jack. It was a pleasure.
Anytime.
Thanks.
We'll talk soon.
She is an incredible young woman. She has brought so much to Torrington. And just to add to what you were saying, I'm on the executive board for the Northwest Connecticut Economic Development team, and we have Rufus on our team now. We have invited Rufus to be part of it because we need that younger perspective. And economic growth includes the arts. The arts have brought millions of dollars to the coffers of the state of Connecticut, and we want to bring that to Torrington as well, so, and the surrounding area.
Yeah, and you know, I understand some of the reservations about, you know, some people feel, you know, it's like, you know, what's this artsy?
They don't understand it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they will. And
there's a lot of components to it.
You have to work with it to you know, to bring the information to them so they understand that.
Yeah.
It's like 5 Points Gallery. We've brought people from 28 states and 8 countries, I think, to Torrington. So there's a lot going on in between Steffi and Rufus and the work at Northwest Connecticut Arts and people in our community like Lynn Gellermino.
Yep.
We are really making a difference. And Judy McElhone, of course. Judy McElhone is our state hero recently.
State hero.
She just got the award for Arts Hero, yeah.
Uh-oh, Ray's on the line.
Oh,
Let's see what Ray has to say.
Ray!
Ray!
Hey, how are you tonight?
Ray.
Now that we've gotten to this part of the show, I think we're all set to go now. We're ready.
All right, I weighed in and I listened to the sessions, and I think it's very important. But the lady that's there, that's the Red Sox fan?
Yes.
I just want to ask her, how many world championships do you have?
You know what? It's not. It's not the titles. It's how you play the game. And the teams that have the championships can only have them if they play against another team. So
I'm a Yankee fan, so I know how many we have. So
well, and that's okay because that's typical of Yankee fans. But I appreciate that. My brother and my son-in-law, my nephew are Yankee fans, and so you've got plenty of company. But I'll stick to my bees.
I understand, but I'd rather put needles in my eyes than be a Red Sox fan.
You know, at my age, that hurts to put needles in my eyes. So I just go along with what's making me happy, and I'm glad that you're enjoying your team.
Hey, Ray.
Yes.
I'm glad you're in a good mood tonight.
I am. I got one more thing to say about comments.
Yes.
The city of Torrington.
Yes.
The city of Torrington, Connecticut.
Yes.
Here's the deal.
Yes.
This guy who's doing all this road work around the area, every street, How can people come to the city of Torrington and enjoy themselves with the road? You can't even go anywhere. I mean, you can't even travel 5 miles an hour. And if you do, you may have some problem with your car or this or that. I mean, it's just totally terrible. I just want to know where our mayor is on this and Mrs. Cook on this. I mean, it's just totally nonsense. I mean, what are we waiting for? I mean, every street you drive on around here, they got it torn up. They don't even patch the road back the way it's supposed to be.
That's a very fair point that you're making, Ray. Are you attending the city council meetings on Monday night?
I was there Monday night. I go to the meetings all of them.
He does.
And I get up, I speak, and everything.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just totally terrible the way they put the road back together, even temporary. It should be a lot better than what it is. I mean, it's just terrible. Every road you go on.
It takes me about 25 minutes sometimes to get up and down Main Street.
Yeah.
And like I say, who wants to come to Torrington, to the art gallery or anything else that city of Torrington has downtown or whatever? You can't drive your car. You can't go anywhere. I mean, how long are they going to wait before they repair all this? I mean, it's just, we're going to wait till next year now and go through the winter like this. Oh my God, this is really terrible.
You know, Ray, I hate to agree with you, but you make a good point. To be an arts and culture tourism destination, those are issues that we really got to address and be serious about overcoming.
Well, it was brought up at the meeting Monday night, so.
I guess I take it you weren't satisfied with the answer.
No.
So
it's just going on too long. Every street. I mean, it's just terrible.
So Ray, thank you for going Monday night, because that was one of the first city council meetings that I missed. So I'm glad that you were there.
I didn't see you there. I was very shocked not to see you.
I know I missed one, but I have to tell you, I appreciate that you're there, and I wish more people would go, because that's the only way you learn about what's going on in your community. So thank you.
That's right.
Even though you're a Yankee fan.
City meetings, yes.
Even though you're a Yankee fan, we can still be friends.
Oh yeah, I'm still friends with Red Sox fans, but I could never even go to Boston. I mean, even to stadium. I know I'd get arrested or.
Not if you're quiet, but that's a hard thing.
I'm not that type of person to be quiet.
I know, and I appreciate that.
Hey Ray.
Yeah.
Ray.
Yeah.
We got to make a quick wrap, but we'll be back next week, and we hope that you'll be here with us.
Mm-hmm. All right, I just want to get a couple minutes in. I just sitting here listening to the conversations back and forth, and I want to give a little bit of respect to do that,
Hey, you got all the respect in the world from us, Ray.
All right, thank you very much.
You
Have
the man.
a nice night.
Thank you for calling.
You too, Ray. Thanks, Ray.
Bye, Ray.
Well,
Ray.
Yeah.
that puts about another wrap on another episode of the
Awesome
City Views.
night.
Really good night. Great to have you here.
So,
Sharon.
You're welcome.
And Sharon, we will be talking about some future plans that we do have with the show, so that we can incorporate more of all things touring into it.
Awesome. And we'll talk more. Maybe Thursday morning we can talk more about what you want to do for scheduling on Friday.
Absolutely. Great.
Awesome.
Thank you. And as always, special thanks to my wonderful co-host, the one and only Mr. Weebo.
Where?
Wilbert Bowles. And the lovely and talented Miss Melissa Cross. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it.
Good to see y'all.
And thank you for tuning in to another episode of City Views. We'll see you back next week, hopefully. Same bat time, same bat channel. Join us here. And remember, if it's going on in the city of Torrington, you can catch it on City Views. Have a great night, ladies and gentlemen.
What's happening in your city? City Views, City Views. City Views, City Views. You got love for your city? City Views, City Views.